What is up, guys? Giants901 here with another FIFA 17 formation guide / review. This one's going to be focusing on the 4-3-2-1 formation, which is an extremely solid and balanced formation in FIFA 17, guys. As always, make sure to check out all my tutorials. I got tutorials on basically everything in FIFA 17, including attacking, defending, and I have a bunch of other formation guides and many more coming up, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future ones. So let's start off with the ideal players for this squad and the instructions. For the right back and the left back, I like to tell them to stay back while attacking and leave their interceptions at default at normal. Now, for these players, you got to make sure that they have around 85, if not higher, pace and around 80 defending. That is the ideal type of players that you want in really any formation that has 4 in the back. Then we move over to those center backs, and like any other formation, you keep them at the default instructions, which is stay back while attacking, and you want to make sure that they have around 70 pace and around 80 defending at a minimum. That is usually the ideal type of center backs that you want in your team. Then we move up towards the center mid, guys. This center mid, I like to make him play like a center defensive mid. So usually a player that is a center defensive mid goes into this position like a Busquets. Tell him to stay back while attacking. That's the only instruction that I changed from the default. And you got to make sure that this player is pretty quick, but very important that he has good defensive work rates. So he stays back and helps out on the defense. Keep in mind there's only one of him, so you don't have that much defense in this formation, so you got to make sure that he stays back. He's got good work rates, and he's got good defending stats, at least around 80 defending stats for him. This is where it could change depending on your playstyle and what you feel comfortable with your squad. Now, if you need a little bit more help on the defense because you only really have one center mid that'll stay back, tell one of your center mids, the slower one, the one with better defending stats, to stay back while attacking, just so he can help out a little bit. So you need a little bit more help with your defense, tell him to stay back. You don't really need him, then you can tell him to be balanced. Or if you really need more help on the attack, tell him to stay forward if you really want. For these type of players, guys, it really depends on what type of players you like in these situations. Usually the most important stats are passing, so just get a good passer. And if you have one that you want to tell him to stay back while attacking, tell him to have around 70 defended. Then we move up towards the LF and the RF, guys, and I like to tell these guys to get in behind, and that's the only thing I change. This formation is very similar to the 4-3-3-5 or the false 9 formation, which I already have a formation guide on, which you guys should check out. But I like to keep this one a little bit more narrow. As you can see, they're LF and RF instead of right and left wingers. So I like to tell them to stay a little bit more narrow, so I don't tell them to drift wide. I just tell them to stay in balanced width, and I make sure that these players are pretty quick. I tell them to get in behind, so I want them to be pretty quick, pretty good dribbling stats, and that way you can really get the most out of it. And then lastly, guys, up top at the striker position, you got Suarez, and I tell him to be the target man and stay central. I really want to make sure that he stays in the middle of the pitch, and he's always looking for the ball. Of course, with Suarez, you want to have a good all-around striker here, good shooting, good passing stats to really make a good all-around striker for this formation. So how do you play with this formation? What are the pros and cons? So the pros and the cons of this formation, guys. Pros, I really like the spacing. I really find that they're really compact, especially with the right custom tactics. You guys can check out my best custom tactics. It works great for this formation. And especially with those custom tactics, they really stay good balance and really good for short passes and quick movement and really to make those runs. You want to get the ball through the middle. Once again, that's how you play with this formation. You want to attack through the middle. Very similar to the false 9 formation. You want to get the ball to Suarez, play with those attackers, look for those runs to be made, and constantly be doing quick and short passes through the middle. I really like how compact this formation is. I really like the spacing of this formation, and you really got to take advantage of it. Keep in mind, it might be a con that they don't have any center defensive mids, that you only have one center mid that might be really defensive. So keep that in mind, but of course you can tailor it to your style by switching up the players and switching up the instructions. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you some examples of me using this formation in game. As you're going to see, guys, you really want to get the ball towards the middle of the pitch, get the ball to your strikers, let him look for those open players making runs, constantly be looking for those runs, and then pass the ball. Once they have a little bit of space, they're making a nice little run, they're getting through towards goal, make sure to do the correct pass and get in there and score a bunch of goals. Very, very effective. Just make sure to run your offense through the middle and make sure to do those short passes. This formation is quite compact, so you're going to see a lot of players near the ball. They're going to be short little normal passes are the most important passes here, short little through balls, and you're going to find that you're going to be able to quickly move up the pitch with those short passes and get through to those open spaces. Just make sure to constantly be on the lookout for those runs, constantly be passing it backwards if you have to, passing it horizontally. Don't just push the ball up the pitch. It's not one of those formations that is going to be really, really quick on the attack, on the counter attack and stuff like that. No, you want to pass the ball, do short little passes and quick movement. You're going to see that they're going to be moving really quick. Play around a little bit with the custom tactics. If you find that your players are a little bit too spread out, change it up to your liking. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys liked this formation guide. If you did, please leave a like, comment, share with all your friends. Click on one of these boxes. Check out some of my other videos, including all my tutorials on the top left, my top 5 videos, like my top 5 skill moves on the top right, bottom left for ultimate team videos, and bottom right for the rest of my formation guides. And of course, guys, click in the middle to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future tutorials or tip videos. Thank you guys so much.